Shall we face the day together? I have some catching up to do. Are you in my seat? You're in my seat. Yeah. You want some oatmeal? Yeah. You're gonna fall off the table. Why do cats do that? They go right to the edge of the table and flop themselves down. And flop themselves down. Yeah. We're survivors, right? What? All right. There's a lot to catch up on. And I'm tired. And I've been taking it easy. And I took a day off yesterday. But I still can't relax. Remember in that other video I was talking about the difference between relax and something else? I'm dealing with patience and forgiveness for myself. So I think last I spoke to you, it was Wednesday morning. The packing people had already left, and I was excited to finally have the house to myself and to now go at my own pace because all the big stuff is out in the pod. And so that's what I planned to do. And I brought laundry down to the basement to wash it. I had been holding off because, as you know, my dryer broke in the middle of all of this. And I didn't want to be hanging my laundry down in the basement in the middle of us trying to clean it out. It wouldn't have created a lot of open space, and who wants to see my underwear hanging? I don't share that with the public. Yeah, so Wednesday I went down to do laundry and bent over to throw the laundry into the washer, and my back spasmed. That was it. I was done. my back locked up, and said, "Yes, the Packers are gone. You shall rest now." Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. So while I was on my knees on the ground, gritting my teeth, I threw the laundry into the wash, did what I could to stand up, got the laundry started, and hobbled my way back up the basement steps. And so I am now wearing the guitar strap lanyard that holds my phone that you cannot see right now because it's not attached because I'm recording on it. But, oh yeah, that's where it attaches. Yeah. Anyway, so I walk around now with the phone on me at all times in case I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, you think it's funny? Are you laughing at life? Laughing a lot? If I were to answer that question, I'd say, not so much. I don't know. I guess I am. So Thursday, because Wednesday was a write-off, and I did rest. I have a TENS unit with electric stim. I don't know if any of you guys have this, have heard of it or whatever, but my chiropractor let me use one once, so I bought my own because it feels so good when you need to help your muscles repair. So Wednesday I sat with the TENS unit on and my back brace, which originally was my husband's back brace. And then I started carrying around my husband's reacher arm thingy where you pull the trigger here, and at this end it's got the little because I couldn't bend over. And I even took my husband's cane out of the closet and kept that because if I had to squat because I couldn't bend over, I needed leverage, something to push on to get up. This is not something new. I've experienced lower lumbar spasms before. I was grateful because I used to get them between my shoulder blades. Knock on wood, please, everybody, everywhere. Thursday, I had a haircut scheduled, and I wasn't going to cancel it. So I went, took care of that, and I was so out of groceries in the house. So yes, with my TENS unit running on my back, clinging to a shopping cart, I did grocery shopping. I managed it slowly, no problems. I forget, I was laughing in an aisle and I forget why. Something happened. It's all, whatever. I did my best. And it was a 90-degree day. So before I went in, I at least knew enough to plug in my refrigerator, freezer, compressor in the van, connected it to the Jackery, got it cooled off, so by the time I came out, it was cold. But I say that like it was easy to do. I can't bend. And you know, to get in that part of the van, you gotta kind of... So I'm kneeling, grimacing, pumping up the TENS unit, doing that sort of thing. And then even when I got back out to the car, I took my time and got the stuff that needed to be in it. But then I had to come back home. I had to pump fuel into the van before I got home. I managed. I did it. I took my time. Tired, exhausted, but mentally still proceeding. Have you guys started watching the Amadeus series on Stars? I'm not a huge fan, but I've watched a few episodes. I don't know if I'll finish it. But they portray Salieri as being very jealous of Mozart. Because Salieri is like the only person who can really get how brilliant Mozart is. but he himself, who feels as though he's been divinely inspired and has been a channel for God to bring music into the world, he himself cannot compose like Mozart. And he gets extremely jealous in this version of the story. And there is a scene where Salieri goes into the cathedral, the church, stares at Jesus hanging on the cross, and has a very, I think, award-winning performance talking about his hatred with God for giving him the knowledge, but not the skill. And then to give it to Mozart, who is arrogant and flippant and obnoxious. And how could God give such a skill to such a man when I have been so devoted to you? And there's a line that Salieri says, oh, with great emotion, from this moment forward, you and I are enemies. Well, when I got home from grocery shopping, I was so delighted that my brain, who couldn't figure out how I was going to carry bags into the house because of the back pain, remembered I had my little rolly cart that I take to craft shows, to make and takes. And I took my time and filled the little rolly cart so I could drag the groceries in, roll them in rather than carry them. I was at the very end, the last bit of stuff to come in. So proud of myself. And the lid from the compressor freezer, I had my hand kind of bearing weight on the edge of the compressor freezer to get the last stuff out. And the lid came crashing down on my finger. I cursed like a truck driver. My apologies to all the truck drivers out there, but you have a reputation. I cursed. I will not repeat what I was saying, but the heat of the day, the exhaustion, the pain in my back, and the fact that now it bust open bleeding. As soon as it happened, I grabbed it with this hand, cursing, sweating, sitting on the edge of my van, because the seats are down, so I'm sitting on the deck of the back. And that line came to me because I'm enraged. It goes against everything I believe about the universe and God and all of that. But in that moment, I made it as if I took it very personally that God was against me. That I am working my butt off to follow this impulse to protect myself so that I can live a life that is sustainable. And you're punishing me? Now, again, it goes against what I actually believe, but in that moment, and in a quite monstrous voice came out the words, from this moment on, you and I are enemies. That's where I got to. Laugh at life. Laugh a lot. But I bring it up because, yes, that is still my mantra. But it doesn't mean you live your life always happy. And I think in my past, when I've tried to share this message, getting your revenge again. I think people have misinterpreted it, that even when you're dealing with crap, you should make lemonade out of lemons. And I think even I am growing with a new respect for this idea that life is going to happen. And it's always about how you approach what's going to happen. It doesn't mean that you say your mantras and you think positively that you're going to suddenly slip into this utopia where everything always works out for me. Yes, you have to look at the big picture. Things are still working out for me, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be a few potholes along the way. And I'm still here, and I'm still laughing with you, but I had to go through that moment, these moments. I've had rest. I'm still loving life, but not in that moment. But that's okay. As much as I want to be angry at myself for losing my crap, who in their right mind wouldn't? Yeah, so I think after I got the groceries away, when I had packed for that 8-day trip, my first aid, I made sure to have a little tiny first aid kit right there behind my seat, the driver's seat. And it came in handy because I sat there cursing, holding my finger, took the peek, saw the blood everywhere, waited a while, and as I calmed down, took my breath, I remembered that the Band-Aids and everything was right there. I didn't even have to move. I just reached, cleaned up my finger, put a Band-Aid on, had a Clorox wipe, got the blood off of everything else, and I continued, So I guess I'm looking for that little silver lining in that crazy story, that I was prepared. By Friday, I was moving a little bit better. I knew Randy, the auctioneer, would be coming Sunday. So I couldn't move. I called Seven. He's the young gentleman who helps me do the grunt work. So Friday and Saturday, I had Seven come over, and it was wonderful because I kind of walked around and was like, see this? Bring this out to the pod. See this? Move that over there. And so, yeah, I guess I would have to do a walk around to let you see where we are. I don't want to recommend that packing team in the sense that they're not professional movers. They are a company that helps families transition loved ones, say with Alzheimer's, from their home into an assisted living facility. I do not think they were prepared for the scope of what was going on here. And with inspection after the fact, when Seven was here to help me put some things in the pod, I had furniture rubbing up against furniture, like a scratch in my furniture because of the way the packing people pack the pod. And there were friction points that while in transition, if I hadn't caught it, there would have been rub marks against furniture. And there was empty space sort of in the middle. So after Seven brought the stuff out to me, and he doesn't have a car, so I drove him back. I came back home, and I always have to reference a movie. Sean Connery, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Entrapment. That whole scene where she's doing her little ballet through the laser beams. Phone attached to me so I couldn't lose it, but tucked in my pocket so it wasn't dangling. TENS unit back brace. And at this point, I'm moving a little bit better from Wednesday. Yeah. I took a couple of pieces of furniture out that was causing the scratches. The ice chest was right there, so I created a stepped up on the ice chest, and there were furniture spots. This tells you how much open space was in there. I was able to climb up. I was able to take some things and position it up on the armoire that was there and step on the ice chest that was next to it and take these things and fill in empty spaces. It took a few hours because I took my time, and I was just very proud that I still have upper body strength. I have good arm strength. I have good leg strength, mostly because I know that my back can be a little tricky. So I tend to squat more than bend. And I kind of was able to put more stuff in the pod. I took the time to go through all that Christmas stuff. I got rid of most of the Christmas stuff. I saved my tree because I finally have a specific way, the way I like to decorate this tree. Saved my ornaments and maybe one bin of extra Christmas stuff. Everything else, they can sell during the house sale. So let's see, that was Friday. That night was the first night I came in the house, and because I had used my muscles and accomplished something, I didn't feel like mentally exhausted. I felt physically tired in that good way. You know, like after a good workout, you know you've used your muscles. So Friday I was like, I can absolutely walk in this house right now and shut it all off. Shut it all off, even though I'm walking through stuff. Tripping over stuff. Pushing stuff out of the way to get to stuff. And decided I might have my timeline off. That was Friday and Saturday. I had 7 come for 2 days. And it was Saturday that I did the pod ballet. Oh, Friday I took the time to go through the attached garage because I wanted to make sure I had all my stuff out before the auctioneer came. Yeah, so Sunday, which was yesterday, I took the day off. I told myself I am not doing anything. I'm not lifting anything. I'm not sorting anything. If Randy the auctioneer wasn't coming, I would get in my car and go somewhere. Sat on the front porch. I was going to do memory keeping, and then got depressed because it was a little bit of cabin fever, because this is the only space to really do memory keeping. The lighting is not the greatest. I do have an extra lamp if I wanted to set it up, but I just didn't want to be in this room anymore, because if I'm not in this room, I'm in bed. If I'm not in bed, I'm packing something. So I went and sat on the porch, the sun shining on me, rocking in the rocking chair, and then Randy pulls up, backs in up the driveway because he's got a trailer attached full of boxes. Again, because I'm so caught up in what I'm doing, I don't think I expected anything. Like, I released the fact that, okay, an auctioneer's coming and he's taking care of that workshop. Shut it down. I got other things to worry about. But then when he came, he dropped the back of his trailer and it was full of empty boxes, because that's what he makes lots in. And we did another walkthrough, and you know, for him, it's a job. He just needs to know what is going. But for me, walking around my house and being like, yep, that's going. Yep, that whole auctioneer thing again. Yep. I became so overwhelmed because he got right into my husband's workshop there and started moving this big machinery, turning things on that I had never like seen on, or I couldn't do it. It hit me hard. Oh, it hit me hard. After I made sure him and his wife had whatever they needed, I came in the house, went straight to the back of the house where the bedroom is, crawled on the bed, and sobbed. Everything came crashing in, all the emotions. I started asking the question, like, is this all a mistake? Am I making one huge mistake? And intellectually, I know the answer is no, I'm not. But to see my husband's things turn into things, they were no longer no longer a part of my husband. My husband's story being stripped, like disconnected from the items. Because that's all they are to Randy. Now they can be compassionate about it. When I came back out later after I had calmed down to see how they were doing and explained my emotion, they kind of stopped and spent a little time with me. It's not like he's cold-hearted, but he's got a job to do. But for me to now walk around and see a box full of wrenches, a box full of ratchets, you know, and yeah, I was not okay. So I reached out. Thank you, Cherie. Because my friend is going through the same thing. So we sat and talked and cried and laughed together and did what we needed to do to get through. So I still didn't do anything yesterday. Not until 6 o'clock at night after they were gone. I did finally wind up here because I went to go get the mail. The universe has a sense of humor. I went and got the mail, and it was a credit card offer. And on the envelope, it said, "You deserve a break." So that mail didn't even survive the walk up the driveway. It was already, I was tearing out that statement. You deserve a break. And you know what? I sat here, 3 hours went by, I didn't even know it. And I caught up on my memory keeper journal, just printing out photos, putting them in, making journal entries, not worrying about stickers, not worrying about any kind of other ephemera unless I specifically put it aside. And yeah, caught up in my memory keeping. I'll show that to you. I haven't figured out how. I'm just letting you spend the day with me, and we're already a half an hour in. Oh, I have to make a phone call because you know the other thing that happened as I was driving 7 back to his apartment, which is right above the antique shop. My engine light came on. Yes. So I have to call the mechanic today to see what's going on there. So I better go do that. Yeah, there's conversations about the antique ladies. Did I tell you I have a stay of execution? So the estate sale is not this coming weekend. Yeah, I think I did mention this. That's why I'm calmer. It's going to be the 27th and the 28th, and the online auction goes live on the 29th. So by July. Sorry. by July, I should be light as a feather. All right, I gotta go call the mechanic. Eat my breakfast. But there's some things you can help me with today. You can keep me company. All right, so Randy didn't know what time he was coming today, so I don't know what time Randy's coming today. But we'll do a quick walkthrough here. And then there's a few things I'd like to do before he gets here or while he's here. So that was the other thing. So I did that 3-hour memory keeping, right? And I'll wait till the end of the day and then I'll do a walkthrough with you of the pages that I did. But I felt so good after those 3 hours. I was like, see, this is why I love this, because it calmed me down. I had something to focus on that I enjoyed doing. So I wasn't in this panic state. I wasn't, I was just in the present moment, in the flow moment, doing my memory keeping, and I felt so good. And then when you're tired, the other thing that's happening is that because things are everywhere, I have no patience anymore for having to walk, trying to find a trail through everything and not trip over everything or accidentally knock something over or have to move something to get to something. I am so done with that, okay? Hoarders have a special place in my heart, but I could not be one because this is freaking me out, okay? So no sooner did I start putting my memory keeping stuff away and I don't know, something fell or whatever, I was like, God help me, okay? So let's just do a little walkthrough. I'll try and explain how I'm organizing everything. So one of the first things I did, because I don't have an office anymore, everything that I needed for office, like my memory keeping, is in these bags. Anything about journaling, a place so I don't lose my keys and my wallet, and a soft case for all my paying bills and things like that. But otherwise, counter space is limited. I'm still I'm not living totally out of this. That's one thing, one grace I've given myself, is that I haven't packed up like my silverware yet, okay? And the same with like my tea and my dry goods. They're still here since I'm still living here. But like everywhere you go, I've got things balanced on boxes. This is still the fallout from my Phoenix Bridge Command Center. When I cleaned that off, everything just kind of went in bins. There's my little rolly case that saved my back. The box for the printer is ready and waiting. But I started making piles like this is electronics. Anything to do with electronics. So weird to see this room empty, isn't it? Okay, ready? Yuck. Here we go. I've got the box for the TV ready. But I don't sit in that chair often because I don't want to sit in the middle of all this. And even Mama Cat, she still has her little place. And every once in a while she'll go there. But of course, lately, since I can't really bend, I haven't been petting her there. So we hang out in the bedroom. But the rainbow wall, right? All that stuff is still sitting there. The boxes with the paper from the rainbow wall is hidden at this point. I'm starting to think I need to just box that up and put it out in the second pod because I'm really not accessing it or doing anything with it. Where the Phoenix Bridge used to be, I set up 2 card tables, and that's my packing station, packing supplies, things that need to be packed. Got myself a nice cordless drill because we're going to have to take apart those cubes in the bedroom. But, there's just things, there's things everywhere. I'm taking my time getting to that. That is my husband's Marine duffel bag, and I think his uniform, his dress uniform, is in there. I haven't gotten the guts to open it yet. but I keep tripping over it, literally tripping over it as I'm walking through. And that's the thing, like to walk, I hate having to have this path to kind of walk on. You know, there's still piles of things that are going to be for the estate sale. I love my D90, but at the same time, I haven't used it. Even with the zoom lens, I think I'm ready to let that go. I kept that out because I had so much fun, and I found the songbook, and funny enough, the Mozart piece that I was trying to teach myself. Yeah. The bag of stuff from my 8-day road trip that needs to be documented. I'm so proud of my little succulents. I haven't killed them yet. These are the plants that I'm keeping. Let's see. The glass is all still there. So I'm finally to the point where everything in this room is going to the estate sale. Everything. So that was my goal, was to at least get one room where as I find things that I know I'm not keeping, they land in here. This is still the Antiques Conservatory, although there's some more things sprinkled in when I was cleaning out the kitchen. The only thing, well, up on there, I want the beadwork because Jerry and I did the beadwork together, but I don't want the rest of the stuff. I think I'm letting go of all the artwork in here. But the only thing about this room is I have yet to finish cleaning out this closet. And I may forego the bedroom because I probably have dirty laundry laying around. Let me see. Well, it is what it is. I set up the TV for myself so that when I go to sleep, I can take my mind off of things. But there's things everywhere. There's the climate control boxes. Ironically, they're against the baseboard heating. Not that I have the heat going really right now because it's been warm. Great-great-grandpa's been watching over. But I bought that cordless drill because I have to take these cubes apart. I'm just so tired of piles. All right. Down in the basement, I've always had this crate under the stairs that I was curious about. It's all stuff from when Jerry owned horses. It's mostly buckles. It's so dirty and stuff. But buckles. Buckles and leather straps from taking care of the horses. You know, pieces for bits and everything. All size of buckles. Yeah, so that was under the steps. Everything in the middle still is to go. A bunch of dirty laundry. Those shelves, right, are pretty much empty. These shelves are empty. I had somebody pick up the hydroponic stuff. These shelves are empty. All the workout equipment is gone. There are shelves back there. Oh boy. Yeah, there's up back there's more Victrola records. It's just a lot. I did get under the stairs though. I have to remember to tell Randy these chairs go with some lawn furniture that's outside, so where am I? Trying to wave to you in the mirror and I can't even see myself. Oh, so the porch, most of this is my Christmas stuff. Yes, so that's me yesterday sitting in that rocking chair next to that nice little totem of totes. trying to pretend I wasn't surrounded by a totem of toads. All right, so it's interesting because the auctioneer blocked off the door from the inside of the house yesterday. And with my back, I really don't want to lift the garage door. Let's see, can we see in there? No, you only see the reflection. We can come back and look at that later. They got a table and chair set up. The wife sits there with her computer. He calls out the items. She types them in. And they get this stuff online. But the trailer, I've decided I'm going to let him auction off the trailer. So I want to go through this and take some things out of it. Look at how overgrown the grass is. I can't even deal with any of this anymore. I'm gonna have to make the video live that I did before we went on our cross-country trip. Because right now, everything is just full of cobwebs and dust, and I think I'm going to switch you over to my chest cam. Okay, so I think you can see me, except that the lighting is going to be really bad in here, so we'll see. Oh, memories. Oh, my back is okay, like I'm not wearing my brace. But it's still tender. Ooh, cobweb in the ear. Yeah, see, it's buggy. Can you see that? I made all the curtains in here. I reupholstered all the cushions. These were the wedding favors from our wedding, the Case estate. Huzzah! I survived Barbara and Jerry's medieval wedding. Oh, paper plates, reusable plates, plastic bags. A lot of this stuff can just go right with the trailer. Reusable bowls. Rain gear. Yeah. See, this is what I mean about fallout, right? So I'm out here grabbing stuff. Like, see this? I made this as a little storage solution. See, I took an embroidery hoop and took fabric, like handkerchiefs, and created little storage pockets so that when you were laying in bed, if you wanted to put your phone in there, right? Easy peasy. Yeah, I'd like to keep that. But what I was getting at is fallout, because I'm just collecting this stuff out of here to rescue it, and it's going in a bag. And so now I'm going to have a bag of stuff that needs to be packed. Ah, yeah, that was his. Mine's over there. Oh my God, I forgot about this pillow. I made this pillow. I saw somebody do this pattern, and so I copied it. Oh, how can you see that when my shirt's in the way? Yeah, I hope you're getting this. Are you getting this? Yeah. So I saw somebody do this pattern, so I had to try it. Where you leave yourself the little flap, but then on alternate sides you let the flap fold in that direction. Yeah, I'm not keeping it, but it's nice to remember it. More sewing. I made these. I did a lot of custom stuff for this van to make extra storage. I'll have to see if I can pull the footage for when I sewed and made these. My little cork board. I'm giving up the kayaks, but I need my roof rack back. I figure wherever I go, I can rent a kayak. Oh, this little gizmo, this is supposed to help loosen that nut so that you don't need a wrench. And it's not working right. So I'm taking time to take the kayak carriers off my roof rack. So this one particular time that my husband was being stubborn, you could see that he was in respiratory distress, he was having trouble breathing, he lost mobility, and I finally convinced him that, okay, we need to do something about this, let me call 911. But he wouldn't let me call 911. He wanted me to drive him to the VA because when you call 911, they take you to the local hospital, which doesn't have a good record of your history. So he was insisting that I take him. Meanwhile, he couldn't walk. He could barely stand. And he was arguing with me. I finally said, okay, fine. Out of all the other times when I normally call 911 anyway, we'll do it your way, sweetheart. It took us an hour to get from the living room to the front steps because I couldn't lift him. There were stairs to maneuver. We got him into the wheelchair on the front steps, but we couldn't get him from the sidewalk steps, just 2 or 3, down to the driveway. And he slid very slowly right out of the wheelchair and gently, between my help and the chair, he wound up laying on the ground, just shy of the driveway, right at the front steps. So he didn't fall. I knew there was no trauma, but there he was laying on the dirty ground. It wasn't a warm month, it was a cold month. And I said, now, will you let me call 911? Yeah, I wasn't waiting for his answer. While I waited, because he was on the ground, always thinking, always trying to protect and advocate for him, even though I was trying to give him his way. You see that old-fashioned mechanics thingamajiggy that you throw on the ground to go into the cars? You see that piece of plywood? I walked over here, got the plywood, put it on the ground underneath him, and then put him on this. I had to do like the nursing hospital roll in order to get him on it, but I got him on that mechanics slider glider thingy on top of that plywood because it's gravel out there. Got a pillow, got a blanket, covered him so he was up off the ground and covered. And I pulled up a lawn chair, sat next to him with my paperwork that had his medical history and his list of medications. When the ambulance finally showed up and looked at us, had to be kind of an odd scene for them. What do we have going on here? They said. I handed them the paperwork and let them know what happened. And they said, oh, you've been through this before, haven't you? A few times. Everything's got a story. Everything I touch and see has got a story. That's the problem. That's why we don't want to get rid of half this shit. Good old Massey Ferguson. It's good to see it out in the light of day. That's Randy. Randy the auctioneer. I've been jumping all over the place with you today. We're in my husband's garage now. Well, the workshop attached to the house. Everything's been moved around. Well, some things, right? Look at that crazy old refrigerator. So much stuff, and everything's in lots now, right? So they come and they sort through everything, give it a lot number, take the pictures, and the auction is actually live right now. You could start bidding right now on all of this stuff, as long as you're local. For local pickup only. It's a metal CNC machine. Oh, interesting. But the thing about it is it's actually hardwired because it's a 220 volt, which makes it very appealing, apparently, because you don't need a converter. So hopefully this thing is going to do well in auction. But now I have to call a electrician because it's hardwired. Otherwise, there's going to be a dangling cord just kind of severed over here, that black cord. It's just one more thing for me to have to do, right? Bringing you out to the garage because I wanted you to see. Yeah, same out here. Everything including the sawhorses has a lot number now. Some fun old carpenter stuff. Where is... Oh man, it's in the corner. I took a shower already. I'm all clean. I wanted you to see the cobbler's box over there. I don't want to get dirty. I really don't want to get dirty. And the lighting isn't great out here. Oh, goodness. I wonder if I can engage a flash here. Let's see. Well, that's much better. So it's a really cool box. The borax. But it's cobbler. It's a cobbler's box with the shoe leather. Look at the little DuPont blasting caps, but I don't think that's what's in there. Check out these little bottles. The flash is putting a glare on it. If it wasn't so yucky, hold fast leather cement. It's just so cool, isn't it? That's lot number 97. Place your bids now. He got all excited about my grandmother's vintage lawn furniture, even without the cushions. Yeah. I saw a similar set once at a vintage place. Oh, man. It's hard to think that in July all this stuff's going to be gone. I said to him, you know, they all get excited about these old signs. I said, look how rusty it is. Oh, no, people, you'd be surprised. That's what he would say a lot. You'd be surprised. Let's take a look and see how far he got in here. Oh my God. Well, you know what happened while he was here? Oh my Lord. You can't even see what's going on in there. He got so into getting stuff done here that he forgot he had an online auction tonight. And all of a sudden he scrambled, knocking on the door, because by that time I was inside, gave him space to do what he had to do. Knocking on the door, we gotta go. We gotta go. We got an online auction. Okay, bye. So he's still got to come back and do more. Another gorgeous night out here. All right, this is a long video. I really appreciate you guys that you enjoy watching me tell you about my life. Let's go in and I'll finish this off by showing you the pages I did in my memory keeper, and then I shall release you. You know what I'm realizing? June is the last month of the second quarter already. Look, cattail. Whee! Yeah, so I caught up on a couple of weeks. The ephemera from going to the Paradise Hibachi. Yeah. In the interest of full transparency, it was not easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just taking me through the sifting and sorting process. You know, in this room this day, in that building the next day. Of course, talking about my food. Oh, you guys, it's an Iwo Jima World War II flag. I decided to save that with only the 48 stars. The picture from spreading my husband's ashes. Mama cat, yes, she's so stressed out. Oh, I shared some of the comments. I've been clipping out some comments talking about Laughs a Lot Studios and how I didn't journal in here yet, but talking about how humbled I am and grateful for the community we're building. Then there's the cat habitat. I shall shenan, then shenan again. And then, yeah, my God, you know, we're into June now. Oh, a picture of the uranium glass with the black light on it. So cool. Yeah, I talk a lot about the videos I make. It's a lot, you guys hear about it in the vlogs. But what I've been doing is just keeping it simple. Pictures and journaling. The tools I salvaged for myself. The lots. Oh, look, I used packaging tape because I had a lot of journaling to do. So I took the pictures and stuck them on packaging tape so I could flip them. See? Oh, it says take a well-deserved break. That was the junk mail. And then it said take a breather. Yeah, there's Mama, stressed out. Oh, you know what I also want to share with you? That cricket. Do you remember the cricket in the other video? Well, that guy hung around for a while. Slowly made himself or herself, made the way out towards the porch. Like the next day he was in the living room, and then the day after that he was out on the porch, and I tend to keep the porch door open for the cat to go in and out, and suddenly I didn't hear him anymore. So I guess he's back outside, but I was obsessed with this cricket. Worried about this cricket that I actually gave it a piece of food and then got excited when I watched him eat it. Did I talk about that in the last one? Anyway, I captured video of it doing its little wings. It's not its legs, it's its wings making the cricket noises. So I'm going to sign off with the cricket. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Laugh at life. Laugh a lot in between the curses. See you again soon. Ciao.